Ever since the dawn of time, when humanity first emerged on this earth, the males of our species have always been in an endless competition to become stronger, faster, smarter, and just overall better than their peers. Whether we consider the older civilizations like the Romans, or the Spartans that focused on strength and power, or civilizations like the old Arabs that focused on more intellectual endeavors. Whatever their goals may be, the men have always been in search of the traits and skills that set them apart from the average male. Many intellectuals and philosophers have long debated what differentiates a high-value male from the common man, and almost all of the conclusions that have resulted from these have some things that are similar to each other. Before we can go around discussing these traits, we have to understand the harsh reality of this world. That luxury is only for the women and the children. Have you not seen how, despite the years of feminism claiming that men and women are equal, when disasters start to dawn on us, it's always the women and children that are evacuated first. Sometimes even the older, incapable men are forced to work, and the healthy women are given a free pass to leave. We can also talk about how women just have to be pretty to be successful in life, whereas a man has to pour his blood, sweat, and tears into his life's ambitions to achieve similar success. Oh well, we aren't here to discuss the intricacies of the systemic problems that plague society. So, moving on to the focus of the video. Let's start with the 8 skills that every man should master in order to become a high-value male. Number 1. Understand the meaning of your life. I know this is easier said than done, but this is one of the essential things a high-value man needs to know. If he doesn't even know what's important to him in his life, he'll be like a ship without direction, aimlessly drifting around in life. This is also the most ambiguous skill, as every man holds different things to different levels of importance. For one man, family might be his life's goal, while for another man, it might not even be in the top 5. So before you can start your journey to become a high-value man, you need to figure out what things you value the most in life. Take some time off and think of the things that matter the most to you. It can be religion, family, career, or anything. Number 2, be a listener. One of the most useful tips that I can think of when it comes to being a high-value man is being a good listener. A lot of people in this world speak more than they listen. But what they don't realize is the sheer amount of things you can learn when you listen and observe. In nearly every aspect of your life, listening can be an extremely useful tool. When you take a step back and become an observer, you will start to notice things that you wouldn't have before. But let me make it clear. When I say that you should be a listener, I don't mean that you should listen to respond. Analyze the data you acquire through listening and make intellectual and logical decisions based on your analysis. Don't be someone that speaks without thinking. Number 3, learn some basic self-defense techniques. Remember, it's not a matter of if when it comes to finding yourself in dangerous situations. It's a matter of when. You can never completely avoid getting yourself in trouble. So it's better to be prepared and to never have to use what you learned than to find yourself in a situation where you wish you had learned something to protect yourself with. Number 4, be self-sufficient and self-reliant. This tip is divided into 2 parts: being self-sufficient mentally and being self-sufficient physically. When talking about being self-sufficient mentally, you have been the type of man that doesn't need anyone else to survive. This doesn't mean that you should be a heartless loony, no, but you should at least be strong enough to continue living and not fall into crippling depression if you're isolated from everyone you love. As for the physical part, it's pretty obvious. Learn to be independent. Learn small tasks like repairing things around the house, changing your car's tires, etc. Being able to do tasks without calling someone to do them for you would add to your masculinity. Try to rely on yourself. Number 6, never forget your self-worth. Remember, a man is the sum of his actions. No matter what happens, you need to keep in mind the reality of who you are. Think of it like this. Let's say you have 10 pennies in your hand. If someone comes along and says that they don't believe you, will it change the amount of pennies you have? What if they say that you only have 5 pennies? Will the number of pennies in your hand magically lower? No. So don't let anyone bring you down. Always remember your self-worth. Number 7. Accept yourself. Remember, you won't be able to please everyone around you. Don't focus on pleasing everyone. Just focus on being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Focus on yourself. Be yourself. The people that love you and befriend you will be the people that want you for who you are. Don't change yourself. Not for a job. Not for a person. Not for anything. Number 8. Never let go of your curious side. We were all children once, and we all had an unbeatable sense of curiosity. Everything in life was so fascinating. How did this work? How did this come to be? These were the questions that were always on my mind. But as time passed, I started to lose this sense of curiosity. I was so lost in my career, my responsibilities, that I forgot that life is meant for living, not just for surviving. Don't let your curiosity die, my friends. There's much more to life than just money, fame, and women. Focus on the road less traveled.